If everybody in the world could just all be just jacked on DMT every day, we would literally experience a reality that is comparable to what people understand as heaven. But instead, people choose this life of suffering, and we're all just here in the dense reality instead of in the high vibe one, where more things become possible through the understanding of like these like dimensional plane clipping.
So, when you were doing this journey, you were telling me that you were playing five-dimensional chess. Can you talk a little bit about that process? How does five-dimensional chess work? How is it played?
So essentially, the different objects in the environment have symbolic representation, and you're actually engaged in like I was playing against like my higher self in a sense. We were playing against one another for like which timeline vector arc we were going to go into, right? Like my higher self has this one plan, and then I have this other plan, and like basically we agreed to like play against one another, and it's like all the things like represented symbolic things that were all part of the entire experience. Like it's hard to like so like for example, like so my bong represents the power of Christ because my bong, a lot of people don't know this, I actually performed a ritual on December 25th, and I sanctified my bong as the bong of Christ. I can't think of one person on the planet who's ever sanctified their bong in the name of Christ by using wine and water and all of these things and had prayers and everything done. Like who does that? Who even has the capacity to think of sanctifying an object in such a way? It's very rare, I think. Like this is I feel like it's not typical human behavior. You know what I mean? Other things, so like the lighters, and I had many different colored lighters. Each color represented a different spectrum or a different level of the playing field where we were conducting like actions and moves against one another. Uh, Different marijuanas I had would represent like I had a whole bunch of different bags of marijuana, and different tokes would be like basically channeling different spirits because they're different strains, uh or like different, I guess, like spirits or spirit dimensions, whatever you want to understand it as. I have like these bags of like this is just from not that long ago. I have these bags of like Werther's originals that I was using as like bargaining leverage. So like let's say like because we're playing it from the perspective of the board game player, I am like conducting like a deal, right? I take like a Werther's, I take like the red lighter and the other lighter here that's like a metallic blue, and the blue one represents the brothers. And then I have this baby blue one that represents the sisters, or they were like the Valkyrie and the Aesir at one point. Uh, and then I would take like some Werthers, right, representing some sort of gift where I would send these, I guess, like representatives to another dimension, right? And then they would go there, conduct some sort of action. At one point, I was actually able to open up this holographic interface underneath your eyes. And what trips me out is, you ever remember how open I was always talking about, like, I want to teach you how to see through your eyelids. If you're on enough DMT, there is actually a holographic screen that's underneath your perceptive, or like your perception field of your eyes. And the weird thing about it is it's not like it's on the back of your eyelids, nor is it a function of your eyes as a camera. It's actually like this other complete like even if you close your eyes right now and really think about it, you can probably feel that when you close your eyes, when your eyes are open, it looks like you're looking through both eyes. You know you're using two eyes to see. But when you close your eyes, you don't think you're looking at the back of your eyelids. And you'll start to notice that there's actually almost like this layer in between your eyelids and where you think like your mind would sit. And this is actually like a holographic view screen with the right amount of chemicals, you can activate. You activate like this inner graphics processing unit that the body possesses on another dimensional level. It's absolutely fascinating, the capabilities that like high doses of DMT really actually have on the technology that is the body.
I see. Um, so, when I talked to you, you were telling me about how you couldn't leave your station and how your house was an intelligent and like sentient house, and also how you were in communication with the objects in your house. So, can you elaborate on what that experience was like and what you think that all meant?
Well, to explain a little bit of that, so like what was revealed to me is that I have communicated with many different entities in these higher dimensions, and these entities don't represent themselves the same way that we do in a human form. Like they represent themselves as some sort of like complex sigil or some sort of moving geometry, and this symbol that makes up their consciousness, it's very, you can see that just as we are unique, they are unique in the same way, like how everyone is their own artist. So first, I ended up experiencing these different entities as I was introduced to these other dimensions and like basically guided through them. And then what happened is I was revealed the first time I actually did like a deep dive with my eyes open and staying awake, that the objects in our environment are actually just manifestations of higher dimensional beings that are manifesting a small part of their presence into your perception field. So the house, what I told you is that the house was an intelligent house because that was like the future new earth, higher dimensional reality that is already prepared for us right underneath the surface. And in that reality, the entire environment is intelligent because like you and the environment, there is no separation between object, environment, or operator and environment. There's no separation. Like you are in an intelligent psychic communication with objects. Like in this world, things like wires aren't needed. You don't even need a keyboard. Like the computer just knows what you do. Like I was like autonomously typing things with my mind when I was inside of this one dimension, which was at like the core of like the vehicle that we're inside of. At the core of this vehicle, it is very much is like a black room, and in that black room, all there is a computer desk. There's a screen on the desk, and the screen is just, it does what you think. It was bizarre. Like I remember, like right now, I'm sitting in the room, and I look around. I have the lights on. I see all my furniture. When I was in the black cube, nothing existed but my computer desk. There wasn't the garbage here on the floor. There wasn't the dining room table. There was just the black cube. That's all it was. It was the most bizarre. When I went there, I was like, that's when I was so convinced, like everything is real and all of this shit is connected. It was quite an experience. Like just like looking back on it and really reminiscing about it, I really feel more now about like just how real it was. And like now after everything, now I don't have enough medicine essentially to reach those higher frequency states. So it's like, oh, the back to reality, oh, there goes gravity, right?